All right, y'all. Welcome back to Splack Pack Sports. This week we have a big game going on. It's the NFC Championship between the 49ers and the Rams, and I want to know who you got. All right, y'all, welcome back. Today we want to get into the NFC Championship game coming up this weekend. We're going to do this thing rapid fire. I'm going to give you my top 5 keys to the game for each team. I'm going to give you the key players to watch, and then I'm going to give you my prediction at the end. All right, y'all, we're going to start with the 49ers, and the first key to the game for them is going to be physicality. They're going to have to be able to hold that line, stop the run, get pressure on Matt Stafford, and make it a long day for this guy. Key number 2, they're going to have their run game on all cylinders. They're going to need to be able to eat up the clock because in a shootout, they are not going to be able to contend with a guy like Matt Stafford. Jimmy G just does not have the firepower out of that arm or the decision-making skills in order to keep up with those guys. So the run game is going to have to be key and essential this week in order to take these guys to the Super Bowl. Number 3, we're talking Jimmy G, y'all. This is going to have to literally be his best game he's ever played in the NFL. And I'm telling you right now, I just don't see it with the pressure riding on it and him having to step up and actually be a franchise quarterback. I just don't see it happening. When he was in New England with the Patriots, backing up Tom Brady, he did not have all of the pressure that he has on him right now. He has Bill Belichick coach team. He had a lot more resources to fall back on, including the GOAT, to be able to talk to. Even though he was hurt, he was able to give him some key insights into what he was looking for. Now he's got to do it on his own. He does not have that mentor in the back behind him, reading into him, talking into his ear. So this is going to be a big times test for him. If he can get it going, then they have a shot. Number 4, it's going to have to be the offensive line for the 49ers. They are going to have to stop the pressure. They have to give Jimmy G time in order to execute his offense. Now, obviously, the coach, Shanahan, this guy knows what he's doing. He's an offensive mastermind, but he just does not have that stud under center in order to get this thing done. But if that offensive line can actually give him a little bit of time, I think they can make this thing happen. Number 5, my biggest key to this game is the 49ers being in the Rams' head. I mean, these guys are 6-0 the last 6 meetings since 2019, and 5 of those games they've been underdogs. So obviously they have the Rams number, and they have been able to, at least throughout the last few years, be able to manhandle these guys and actually win the psychological warfare on that side. They're going to need to keep that going if they're going to try to make it 7-0. So those are my top 5 keys for the 49ers. So let's get right into the top 5 keys for the Rams. Key number 1 is going to be Matthew Stafford. The guy is a franchise quarterback, and this weekend he is most definitely going to have to play like one. As you can see from these stats here, the guy's career has been great. He's been doing his thing this year. He has to cut down on these turnovers, the sloppy mistakes. If he can just play a clean or a semi-regular clean game, he'll be able to potentially blow the 49ers out. But he must protect that ball and stop all the sloppy turnovers. Number 2, I'm going to say Odell Beckham Jr. And a lot of people are going to immediately go to Cooper Kupp, but that's an obvious choice. I mean, that guy won the Triple Crown for the wide receivers this year. So obviously, in my opinion, he's probably the best receiver in the NFL this year. But what he needs is single coverage. And when you have a guy like Odell Beckham Jr. who's going to be on the field on the opposite side, that frees up the most potent offensive wide receiver weapon in the league to go out and strut his stuff. Key number 3 for the Rams is going to be that offensive front with Aaron Donald. If they can get some pressure on Jimmy G this week, it's going to be a long night for these guys. And the 49ers just may end up sitting here like, what truck just hit us? Where did that truck come from? And damn it, can we get off this field and just go home and lick our wounds? All right, key number 4 is going to be Jalen Ramsey. I mean, he's obviously one of the top 3 cornerbacks in the league this year. And if Aaron Donald and that defensive front can get that pressure on Jimmy G, I mean, what is he going to do downfield with a guy like Jalen Ramsey? I mean, this guy's just going to be swatting balls out of the air, potentially getting pick sixes and whatnot. So, I mean, if you combine the two, if you combine that offensive front and then you got somebody on the back end like Jalen Ramsey, this could be a key for the Rams. Number 5 is going to be the home field advantage, y'all. And I mean, obviously, they have this pride going in to try to get to the Super Bowl in Los Angeles on their home field, and obviously that's something to look for. But in the last time they played, there were more 49ers fans in the damn stands than there were Rams fans. Everyone knows historically LA is not a big football town, and the fans from the Bay Area, them 49er fans came out in mass. I live in the LA area, not too far from that stadium, and I mean, I was down around there that weekend and all I saw was 49er jerseys. The good thing, or the gamesmanship that the Rams seem to be playing this year for this game, though, is that they are restricting on Ticketmaster all sales of tickets. The extra tickets are going to have to be in the LA metro area in order to ensure that the 49er fans don't come out here and actually dominate once again like they did last time. I mean, because if you think about it, last time, I mean, Matthew Stafford had to go to a damn silent count in his own house. How do you have to go to a silent count in your own house because it's so loud from those people from the other side? I mean, you cannot let the enemy into your backyard and distract your team. There's too much riding on it. And obviously the higher ups for the Rams understood this, and they were said, what we're not going to allow this week is some shenanigans or any BS, and give them the home field advantage in our hometown. So with that being said, let's get into the key players to watch. All right, y'all, for the Rams this week, these players to watch for me are going to be Cam Akers as the running back. We're talking Cooper Kupp on the wide receiver. Obviously, that guy's been just all world this year. Aaron Donald, I mean, if that guy can get off this weekend, it's going to be like I said, a nightmare scenario for Jimmy G and the 49ers. Von Miller, I mean, he's trying to get back to his second Super Bowl. Get back in there, try to get one more ring. Obviously, it was heartbreaking for him to have to leave the Broncos, but right now, being able to come in here with a chance to get to the Super Bowl, I mean, this guy's going to be playing like 4 or 5 years ago. And then my 5th player to watch is going to be Jalen Ramsey, like I said earlier in this broadcast, that this guy, I mean, just shut down. I mean, they gave up a ton to get him, and this weekend is when he's going to have to really show his stuff. All right, and when we're talking about the 49er players to watch, we're going to start with Deebo Samuel, a wide receiver / running back, obviously. I mean, the guy can do it all. He's going to have to be utilized, and that's going to be key. They have one of the most offensive-minded head coaches, so they're going to be able to use him. It's just, will Jimmy G have enough time in order to execute and use this dual threat? Then we have George Kittle as the tight end. I mean, this guy has been doing very well this season, but like I said, the dink and dunks, that's going to come up big for Jimmy G. He's not the biggest downfield threat quarterback, so being able to utilize that tight end is going to come up big for them. And then at defensive end, we got Nick Bosa. I mean, we know about all them Bosa boys. They get it done, and so he's going to have to really step up and show his pedigree. Then we have a linebacker, Fred Warner. I mean, this guy here, you know, not to be underestimated. One of the top to do it in the league, and he's going to have to really come out and put that pressure on the run game and then drop back when needed to into pass coverage and defend that tight end. And then when we're talking about his safety, we got to talk about the 49ers are a little underrated. Now, I know they've been banged up, but they're underrated in that secondary. So if Jimmy Ward can get off, then he gives the 49ers a real good shot. All right, y'all. Well, you seen my analysis. You saw my quick breakdown. And so now I'm just going to talk about it. I mean, obviously, we've seen it since 2019. The 49ers have really had the Rams number, and that's going to be key. The psychological game is going to be really key here. But I will say this. After snatching victory from the jaws of defeat last week, I mean, the Rams had it all sewed up against the Bucs, and then let them back in, and you can't do that to the GOAT. You can't give the GOAT all all that time. Tom Brady has done it time and time again. I was sitting there last week like, oh no, here we go again. My man about to put that thing on him once again. But they dodged the bullet. They came up big when they needed. And Matthew Stafford showed some guts, showed some poise, and that pass at the end, I mean, to get him down in the field goal range in order to win that game in regulation, that was one of the wildest finishes I've ever seen. So being able to stand that bolo punch and come through in the clutch when need be after having been punched in the mouth and on the mat, they could have been very demoralized, but they got through that. That's what championship teams have to go through before getting to the final game. They have to face that real test of adversity to see if they can actually overcome it. And now that they have, they're going to have that big boost of confidence going in to this game. So I'm going to go ahead, and as you can see, I got my all LA on. And so I'm going to have to go with the home team, LA Rams this week. I mean, obviously the 49ers have had their number, but 7 in a row, I don't see it happening. I see the home field advantage actually being a home field advantage this year. And I see Matthew Stafford stepping up and getting to his first Super Bowl. And I don't think it's going to be a low-scoring game like it was against the Packers. I don't see that happening. I see actually some numbers being put up on the board, and I see this offense, Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham, Matthew Stafford. I see him putting up a bunch of points. So my prediction is going to be 31-21. I'm taking the Rams to get to the Super Bowl and have that home team cooking in the Super Bowl. That's my prediction. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see you next time.